Welcome back to Soprano Recorder Review. This time we are going to be reviewing the notes E, G, A, and just reviewing how to blow your instrument with soft, warm air. So, just a quick review here. Make sure you can put your fingers all the way on the instrument, on that fastest recorder in the West. So get your fingers set. Remember, in the left hand pinky does not get used, all right? It's only the right hand pinky that gets used. So we have one finger that doesn't get to do anything in the front, and then your thumb, right hand thumb, doesn't get to do anything on the back. It just hangs out there and helps support the instrument. All right, so low E. You start with the fastest recorder in the West fingering, where everything is covered, and then you lift the first bottom two fingers. All right, so if I were to have my fingers way up in the air, you can kind of see that the bottom two keys are not covered. Now those bottom two keys have two holes, and that's kind of a skill later on down the road where you would have to be able to cover one of those holes at a time. But for right now, just think of each of those holes as one key. You have your third finger key and your fourth finger key there. So you lift those two fingers. But of course, we wouldn't hold our fingers up in the air like this. We would let them just hover. They're just barely over top of the instrument, all right? You're gonna let that instrument hover so that, or those fingers hover, and have them ready to go when we do finally need them. All right, so this is E. Remember that you play very warm, soft air so it doesn't squeak. When you play an E, it should sound like this. Why don't you try? Now, if your instrument sign gave you kind of a squeak, there's usually two reasons for that. One, you might be blowing too hard, like this. Too much air. Or it's possible one of your fingers isn't quite seated over top of the key right. Then it might sound like this. You can probably see a little bit in the video how my finger here, I'm letting it rocking it back and forth to make that sound. Watch again. You can kind of see the open hole when you do that. So we want to make sure those are covered really carefully. So again, this is low E. All right, so that's how you play low E. We're going to practice our de tonguing. Remember, this is when you use that really warm, soft air and basically a silent D. So it's going to be that. So I'm going to play a pattern, rhythm pattern on the E's, and then I want you to copy it. Make sure you stop it right after you play it, because I'm going to play a second one and then give you a chance to copy it. Great, hopefully that went well. We're going to move on to the G note. All right, with G, you lift all the fingers in the right hand off. So there are no keys covered on the 1, 2, 3, 4 bottom keys of the instrument. However, you don't hold your right hand down here and hold the instrument like this. Because if you need to go back to play E, your fingers need to be right ready to go. So what do? We keep the right thumb stuck in place. So whenever you put your instrument together, you put your hands on the keys, just pretend like that thumb gets super glued to the instrument. It never moves. It just always stays in one place. That helps your right hand stay in the right place as well. So again, what we'll do is we'll lift. So here's E, and then we lift those two. So remember, those fingers are barely over the instrument. They're off, but they're not high off of the instrument. All right, so now it's just finger 1, 2, and 3 plus your thumb in the left hand. And your G should sound like this. Why don't you try? Okay, again, if you got a squeaky sound, usually it's because you might be blowing too hard, or one of your fingers isn't quite covering the keys totally. Make sure you're using flat fingers, and that will help you. All right, so that's G. I'm going to play a pattern on G, and then you copy after me. Great. All right, now you may have noticed that I was tonguing each time. Sometimes people want to do what we call hooting, because you don't use a little duh in front, you're just blowing air through the instrument like this. All right, and that usually means that you're playing, it pushes too much air through at one time, and then sometimes that actually will make you bounce up and have a squeaky, yucky, ewy sound. All right, so that's E and G we've learned. I'm going to play a pattern now that uses both E and G, and then you will copy after, and I'll give you a couple of those examples, so make sure that after you've repeated that you listen carefully so you can catch the next rhythm. So here's E and G. Just to let you know right now, I'm going to start on E. Great. All right, now I'm going to add in one more note, and that is A. So if you remember, E is everything but the bottom two fingers. Then G is just the left hand. And now to play A, you lift one more finger. So you only have the thumb, finger 1, finger 2 covering. But you still keep your other fingers in place so that whenever you have to play the new note, your fingers are already right where they need to be, and your hands can just quickly give a gentle squeeze, and you've got the next note. All right, so here's A. A should sound like this. You try. All right. Again, I'm going to play a pattern, and you play the pattern. It'll all be on A to start with. Great. All right, now I'm going to play a pattern between G's and A's, and I will start with A this time. So just 2 fingers plus your thumb down. I'm going to start with A. You copy whatever I play. Wonderful. Now, next time we're going to be a little bit more challenging the pattern, because I'm going to use E's, G's, and A's. So we're going to start with G. All right, start with G, and then you'll copy whatever I play. Now, some of you will recognize right away that what we did was we just played a bunch of the little pieces and parts of Peas Porridge Hop. So, as with most of the music we learn in Oakwood Music Room, when we play the recorder, we usually sing the words to the song as if it has words, or we sing the note names. So what we're going to do right now is sing the words just to begin with. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot, 9 days old. All right, now, would you now think about the names of the notes? If you have been in 4th grade this year, you're going to remember these notes pretty easily. If you're from 5th grade, those notes might be a little far away from you. So I'll sing them for you. Try to sing along as best you can. G-A-A-G, G-A-A-G, G-A-A-G-G-E, G-A-G. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but as I was singing those notes, I was also fingering the notes on the recorder. When we put the instrument at our chin and we're singing the names of the notes and we're lifting the correct fingers, we like to call that chinning. So that way we don't accidentally play the instrument when we don't want to. We just learn to make sure we're fingering them in the right order, and then we can practice that way without blasting the noise for our families or all the kids in the same room that we're with. So we're going to practice chinning right now. You play or you chin right along with me. You don't copy after me this time. All right? We will just go through 1/2 of the song. Here we go. 2. Ready, and G-A-A-G, G-A-A-G, G-A-A-G-G-E, G-A-G. Wonderful. Now we're going to play it. Starting on G. 2, ready, and. Why don't you practice that one more time on your own? In the next video, I'll go over with you how to play high B, or the B that has only thumb and 1, and we'll learn another song. We'll learn the Yellow Belt song with playing the variation of Hot Cross Buns. Thank you for watching, and watch again if you need a little more practice on E, G, and A.